there is a team called the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of California, of the United States, of North America, formerly of Pangea, of the Earth, of the solar system, of the Milky Way galaxy, of the known universe. Rolls off the tongue. They put all these guys on waivers. Lucas Giolito, who I think they literally traded for a month ago?
Yeah, I think I
was
saw
it July 26th?
I saw that he was a 33-day rental for the Angels.
Okay, so it was a month.
Yeah.
Damn, that sucks. You can't get your money back.
No, yeah, he's still under warranty.
I don't know. It's usually return policy is a month. Warranty you have to pay extra for.
Oh, is that? Oh, they probably, and smartly, they probably were like, nah, we don't need the warranty.
Well, they probably want to make sure they're not in the luxury tax. And for a very depressing reason we'll get to in a moment. Reliever Matt Moore on waivers. Ronaldo Lopez, another reliever, on waivers. Outfielders Hunter Renfroe and Randall Grichuk on waivers. They join Harrison Bader, who the Yankees put on waivers. Okay. Look, any arm, Astros should be interested. Any arm. I would probably point to Matt Moore over Giolito. But with the way things are going for Cristian Javier of late, I guess you can't really say no to Giolito. I would like them to get one of those guys. Will they fall to where the Astros are in the waiver order? Well, one of the perks of being in this weird three-way tie atop the American League West, except for you're not actually in a tie, is that I believe the Astros actually do have the tiebreaker. Say teams have the same record, it goes back to 2022 records. It's a very confusing process. So I think the Astros at the very least would have their pick before Seattle and before Texas. Could be wrong on it because I read the explanation of waiver claims, and this is unprecedented. I can't remember a team just cutting 5 guys on one day.
I read an article about like how weird this is or how unprecedented this is, and the writer of the article, I forgot his name, like just put up who's on waivers this time last year, and it's just a whole bunch of guys you never heard of, and or either guys you never heard of or guys you remember from way back in the day,
yeah,
and had no effect on the playoffs whatsoever. I think only one of them ended up playing in the playoffs. It was like a Braves reliever. But yeah, this is going to be weird because the Astros, like you said, they're going to have an earlier waiver claim, I guess, than the other teams in their division. But there are all the wild card teams that, I mean, I imagine if you're a wild card team, like you should be claiming as many of these guys as you can because you're in a scrap just to get into the playoffs, and you're going to have an earlier, claim.
Okay. Yeah.
And all the bad teams aren't going to claim them because of the same reason that the Angels cut them.
I think the tricky one would be the wild card teams that are hovering around, and specifically Toronto, I guess. Is Toronto going to be interested in them? Here's another weird thing of the tiebreaker. The American League has the tiebreaker on National League teams if they have the same record, too. And there's not really an explanation for that.
That's hilarious.
They must alternate every year or something like that.
Yeah, it probably alternates every year.
Right.
But if it was just all time, like, tiebreaker goes to the American League. Sorry.
We are on the Twitch. Junior Bronco says we are ahead of Seattle and Arlington in the waiver claim, but not in the divisional race.
Yeah, because they are technically like 1 percentage point or 1/2 percentage point, whatever it is, lower because they have one more win and one more loss.
Big brain. Big brain. The Astros knew what they were doing at the waiver trade deadline. Y'all hate on Dusty Baker? He knew what he was doing.
They're like, let's make sure that we schedule 2 more games than the other teams.
We're on a roll right now, but let's make sure we throw Thursday's game and Friday's game so that we have the ability, just given the way the schedule's playing out, to have a better waiver claim than those teams. Also, shout out to Jeff Blum last night, calling the Texas Rangers South Oklahoma. Shout out to him. I appreciated that. Sometimes some of the Jeff Blum trying to have some fun with the home run calls, I'm mixed bag on. Like I like the rest of the Jeff Blum experience, but sometimes the home run calls, I'm like, No, that was a good one. You've made up for several of those. So shout out to you, Jeff. I like Jeff too, by the way. I met Jeff in person.
So Chasmanian Devil.
Does not.
That's okay now, or you're just.
I'll take Chasmanian Devil. The King Tuck. I don't want to do King Tuck, and Uncle Mike. I don't get it anyway.
Okay.
Anyway,
Breaky Bomb.
Breaky Bomb works.
Okay.
Breaky Bomb works. So we'll see if the Astros sign any of those guys. I took a look at some of the tweets from this morning's Dana Brown interview over on the Astros flagship. He said, I feel like we're clicking on all cylinders. 28 games left. Buckle up. It's go time. Okay, yeah, that's Howard Dean. We're going to go to, where are we playing next? We're going to go to Boston. And then we're going to host New York City. And then after that, I forgot what the schedule is. Oh, then we're going to play there. Then we're going to take on the Rangers. That's Dana Brown for you, everybody. What else did we see from Dana on the old flagship Ruski? Sorry, I'm filibustering here so I can find it. He said that, yeah, not surprising that JP France bounced back. He said that Cristian Javier has to work on some things, small things in the game. The velocity is not down. Is the velocity not down? He was a few mistakes away from a good outing. I hate it when people explain that. Baseball explaining is kind of annoying. Brown also said guys like Javier will be fine down the stretch. I'll tell you when it's time to panic. Come on, man. It's time to wave the white flag on Javier this year. It's just not going to happen. You're not panicking. This is politician Dana Brown. There's always a little bit too much polish on the stuff that he's putting out there. At the very least, he's not promising to sign one of these guys on the waiver list. I suppose it would be tampering, so you can't do that.
And then we're gonna take Lucas Giolito. Wah!
Yeah, I like that. We got Lucas Giolito. Hunter Renfroe. We're bringing Josh Donaldson to ruin our clubhouse. By the way, he is available, and
I doubt he gets picked up.
Well, the person who replaced my show in Seattle, who is a known baseball guy, he thinks that the Mariners should bring Josh Donaldson in. And you know what? I'm please bring Josh Donaldson in. There's no way he will screw up the young clubhouse at all.
Especially
no way.
Coming in with like 30 games left.
Yeah.
Being like, here's how we do it.
Right. And he's been playing so well this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Yankees fans were calling to DFA him a while ago.
Yeah, it's always tough. I mean, because like the Angels one, like it's funny to me. Like obviously the process of trading for half these guys and then cutting them a month later, like that's bad. But just like cutting them actually makes sense. What the Angels did, because when you add up like the rest of the salary for the rest of the year for these guys, isn't it like $8 or $9 million? And that takes them out of the luxury, competitive balance tax.
Thank you. I forgot to get to that. This is literally so that when Shohei walks, they get a second-round pick instead of a fourth-round pick. Like, just how depressing are you as an organization where Shohei's elbow is gone? You're not even going to get to see him pitch the rest of the year. Mike Trout came back for basically one game from the injured list and got injured, re-aggravated it immediately, or is just like, what's the point of me playing the rest of this year? Shut it down. I don't really like baseball that much, which is why I decided to sign that huge contract just so I could live in the Orange County, never actually have any expectations put on my shoulder because I'm not really a competitive person. I don't know. Some are saying that.
And then,
I would never.
And then go to Eagles games starting in early October.
Yeah. You know what? Good point. He just the Eagles are good. Mike Trout just wants to get to his Eagles games. You know, just let's. Philadelphia on 3. 1, 2, 3, Philly.